Welcome to Zen and the Art of Movies. And this is the fourth, got my fingers right, number 4 on our discussion of Laurel and Hardy and passive-aggressive behavior. So let's expand this talk and look at American race relationships. Look at American history of America is race relationships between the black and the white, between Laurel and Hardy. So who is Hardy but the bully? And who is Laurel, but he's dependent upon Hardy, but he resists, he rebels against Hardy passively. If Laurel does work, he slows down. This is institutional behavior. I used to work in an institution. And when you're institutionalized, you slow things down. You don't rush. If you're doing a job, you take your time. You chit-chat and do other things. You just do your time, you see. You don't have any creative energy in it because you're not allowed to be creative. So the blacks, historically, African Americans, the slaves, were in a situation of Laurel and Hardy. They had to stay in America. They couldn't leave. But the white people were the boss. You see, so what does the African American do? There's several choices. One is just to give up and submit and be a real slave, or there's a rebellion. But the rebellion can't be to leave the South. It can be a passive-aggressive rebellion. So the blacks would rebel by doing what the boss says, but by doing it slowly, driving him crazy. And a great movie for that is The Help. Now, The Help, I love this image. But so the Minnie was in a passive-aggressive relationship with the boss lady. So she agreed to help the boss lady. She brought her a pie, but it was a shit pie. Now that is passive-aggressive behavior. She didn't hit the Minnie didn't hit the boss lady with a baseball bat. She gave her a shit pie with a smile. So when she goes home, she and all of her friends can laugh their ass off, laughing at the boss lady eating a shit pie. So anyway, that just comes to my mind as a great example of passive-aggressive behavior. So with Laurel and Hardy, Laurel sabotages Hardy. That's an act of rebellion. But he does it in a way that keeps him in relationship. He can't leave the relationship. Well, he can't leave because it's a movie. But I mean, the relationship it's like a teenager. They rebel against the parent passively because they're not ready to leave the family yet. Now, what happens in America is that we get this arrested development. We delay this adolescent rebellion and market it and make it a stage in life, a permanent resident. So you take MAGA, the GOP. That's a PA rebellion. So MAGA, say, is an assertion of independence, freedom, maturity, autonomy, you see, but they are in a Laurel and Hardy relationship with the liberals, or the mainstream media, liberalism, government. The government, science, the media is the mainstream. So how does a little stream rebel? How does a little stream become the whole stream? How does a little stream separate itself from the mother stream. You see? It does it passively. It just says no to everything the mother wants. But at the same time, when it's saying no, it says, I'm agreeing with you. I'm trying to help us. I'm helping the people. I'm helping in America by saying no to what's good for them. I have to say no, because unless I say no to you, then I'm just submitting to your authority and I'm losing my autonomy. So this is a strategy that has become politicized. So MAGA is an adolescent rebellion against the parent society without leaving the parent society, but by sabotaging the parent society while it's in it. And that's an adolescent rebellion, going to sabotage the parents while you live in their house. Instead of leaving the house, the Civil War, the South tried that, so we're leaving we're leaving the house. We're going to create our own house. The Confederacy. Well, that didn't work, did it? So that changed because the rebellion never ended, there was no unconditional surrender. The rebellion went underground into a passive rebellion. So now the South could stay in the Union while saying no to the Union. Just say no. And you can see this pattern. We see it everywhere. The passive the Laurel and Hardy rebellion is where the one partner is bullied or dominated, and the other one wants to assert his autonomy and independence, but can't leave the relationship. So it asserts his independence passively, unconsciously, and in this way, he gets to say, well, I have good intentions, I'm helping the union, I'm helping the family, but at the same time, I'm doing the opposite of what's good for the family. I'm rebelling. I'm rebelling and obeying at the same time. And that's a tape loop. That's a catch-22. That's a mic and an amplifier. Wow, 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 until it explodes. And the newspapers are full of this explosion, where the wah-wah goes wah-wah, wah-wah, until the system, the family, the nation, can't handle it anymore. And it explodes. And then that's the end of a Laurel and Hardy movie. Explosion, destruction of everything. But still, Hardy says to Laurel, this is a fine mess you've got me into. You see, he never admits his participation in the vicious cycle. So passive creates a vicious cycle. The mic and the amplifier is a vicious cycle. Unless you stop it, it blows up the amplifier. We see this pattern. By studying PA through Laurel and Hardy, through the mediation or the metaphor of Laurel and Hardy, I've come to understand so much in my life. I've come to understand the pattern of my life and the pattern of human life, and particularly in American life. America's caught in a Laurel and Hardy movie. If you see that, you'll fall on the floor laughing. If you see it and fall on the floor laughing, you'll know what to do. If you don't see it, you won't know what to do, but keep kicking the pattern down the road. When you see the pattern, you're free from the pattern by knowing what to do. You don't know, you can't do anything different from the pattern until you see yourself in the pattern. That's awakening. That's the Laurel and Hardy. Thanks for dropping in.